warm welcome. You're watching Parliament News on DD India. First up, news from the Lok Sabha. In the Lok Sabha, the discussion on climate change resumed today, in which the BJP members lauded Prime Minister Narendra Modi-led government for taking measures to protect the environment and bring India at the center of international initiative to control global warming. In contrast, the opposition members alleged that the centre did a volte-face at the climate summit in Glasgow by setting a net zero target of 2070, questioning the rationale behind it. Actually, the Environment Ministry and Secretary had ruled it out in the media, Trinamool member Saugata Roy said while continuing with the discussion. He asked what prompted the Prime Minister to commit to a net zero target in 2070. He asked if there is any credible research available to vindicate the target. N.K. Premachandran of the RSP charged the developed nations of diluting their climate commitments over the past 3 decades since the 1992 Rio summit, adding the common but differentiated responsibility concept has become an insignificant part of the Glasgow Declaration. He lamented that even the concept of developed and developing countries had been changed at the COP26 summit at Glasgow and criticized the rich countries of hiding behind poor nations in tackling the challenges posed by climate change. The BJP's Ramesh Biduri lauded the Prime Minister's initiatives to popularize the use of energy-efficient LED bulbs as an alternative to traditional lighting solutions and offer LPG subsidies, which he claimed have reduced dependence on firewood for cooking. Mr. Biduri targeted the Aam Aadmi Party government in the national capital, alleging that it has indulged in gimmicks in the name of fighting air pollution and has taken no substantive measures. The National Conference's Hasnain Masoodi said there is a need to shift towards sustainable development so that nature is protected. It is the time to act now to protect climate, said Congress member Benny Behanan. BJP's Jagdambika Pal said people should not indulge in blame game and all states, irrespective of their political affiliation, should work together on the issue of climate change and environment protection. From a developing country like India, the commitment to zero emission by 2070 as the recent COP26 an important announcement, he said. BJP's Sapir Gao suggested that there is a need to bring in environment awareness at the school level. Environment, Forest and Climate Change Minister Bhupendra Yadav said in his intervention during the debate that the central government is working towards making use of stubble in making biofuels and manure in an exercise aimed at reducing incidents of its burning, which is seen to be a source of air pollution in the region, including in the national capital. He made the remarks after Shiromani Akali Dal member Harsimrat Kaur Badal alleged that Punjab farmers were being defamed for stubble burning and asked the central government to provide them with resources to deal with it. In response, the minister said the NTPC had recently procured 3,000 tons of stubble and the government will review its result to see how it can be used for biofuels. Ms. Badal cited reports including a submission by the central government to claim that stubble burning plays a minimum role in air pollution and asked the ministry to bring out a white paper on the issue. Cases have been lodged against farmers and fines imposed on them for stubble burning, the Bathinda MP said, and targeted Delhi government for defaming them. In his reply, Mr. Yadav said stubble burning has now been decriminalized, and he also listed the measures taken by the government to make sure that farmers do not burn them. The union government has allocated 700 crore rupees for machinery to get rid of the stubble. UP used 6 lakh acres of land while Punjab and Haryana used 1 lakh acre each for using it as manure, he said. Ms. Badal said Punjab, being an agricultural state, has been hit hard by climate change. Talking of contamination of groundwater and soil over the years as Punjab worked to make Green Revolution a success, contributing to most of the country's needs of rice and wheat, she said farmers have been burning stubble at their farms for centuries, but an atmosphere has been created that they are poisoning the air. External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar told the Lok Sabha today that the US sanctions on Iran have not affected India's Chabahar port project. Replying to a question from BSP member Ritesh Pandey, the minister clarified that US sanctions are not relevant to India's Chabahar port project in Iran. Mr. Pandey claimed that the Iranian government is publicly saying that the Chabahar port project has been miserably delayed due to sanctions. He also claimed that he is aware that China is trying to work on the project by taking advantage of the sanctions as it did with the rail link. He asked the government if it is working on a solution. The minister replied that his opinion is completely inaccurate, clarifying that the Chabahar agreement was signed in 2016 and India took possession of the terminal in 2018. Dr. Jaishankar said India has already supplied 6 trains and the terminal is now fully functional. He reiterated that the US sanctions are not relevant to this project at this time at all. After the private members' business in the evening, the Lok Sabha was adjourned for the day. Moving on to Rajya Sabha now, the Rajya Sabha functioned normally without any disruption on Friday as members raised issues of public importance during the zero hour and question hour. The upper house has resumed normal functioning on Thursday too, and it saw no disruption. The opposition members have been creating uproar in the House, which has led to disruption in the proceedings over the demand for revoking the suspension of 12 members who were suspended on 29 November, the first day of the winter session, for the remainder of the session. They were suspended for their unruly behavior and for lowering the dignity of the House during the last day of the previous session. Opposition members have alleged that their suspension is not as per rules and have been demanding the revocation. Members of the upper house took part in a discussion on a resolution moved by Congress member Amy Yagnik to control pollution in the country. Yagnik urged the government to set up a joint parliamentary committee, or the JPC, to work with all stakeholders and to fix a timeline for it to present a comprehensive report on the current status of air, water and land pollution in the country. Moving the resolution post-lunch during private members' business, she also asked the government to introduce stringent legal provisions to mitigate environmental pollution and promote sustainable development. She said despite the country having several laws, policies and authorities such as Central Pollution Control Board and State Pollution Control Boards to check the various forms of pollution, the issue still persists. She said in today's time, health has become a major concern and it's being affected by various forms of pollution as well. Her resolution sought segregation of several factors responsible for air, water and land pollution and preparation of a plan of action to control the overall environmental pollution. The JPC could suggest steps to improve environmental protection by adopting technological advancements, she said. The resolution also called for the formulation of policies to discourage the use of chemical pesticides and suggest substitutes for chemical pesticides and biocides to our farmers, she said. It also called for introducing stringent legal provisions to mitigate environmental pollution and promote sustainable development as well. Taking part in the discussion, Shiv Pratap Shukla of BJP highlighted several steps taken by the Prime Minister to combat pollution, including launch of the Swachh Bharat mission and providing LPG connections to the poor. Amar Patnaik of BJD agrees that all stakeholders must be brought together to address the issue of climate change, of which pollution is a part. Vijay Sai Reddy of YSRCP raised concerns over massive consumption of fossil fuels that's contributing to poor air quality and global warming at the same time. It's a need of the hour that all the representatives of the government and stakeholders come together and combat environmental pollution, Reddy said. Vishambar Prasad Nishad of the SP said a joint parliamentary committee should look deeply into the matter. Manoj Kumar Jha of the RJD said that every year during November-December period, farmers are blamed for pollution due to stubble burning, while no one questions big industries which pollute even more. Sanjay Singh of the Aam Aadmi Party said that both central and state governments need to work together to fight air pollution. Mahesh Poddar of the BJP said pollution is a byproduct of development, but the key would be in taking measures to effectively control it. He said efforts should be made to generate more electricity from renewable sources. Fawzia Khan of the Congress said the government should first accept that there is an issue of pollution and then offer solutions for the problem. Ramchandar Jangra of the BJP also took part in the discussion. Ajay Pratap Singh of the BJP said schemes such as Ujjwala Yojana launched by the government has helped to reduce pollution and has also increased the forest cover of the country. Singh said he did not agree with Yagnik's proposal to set up a parliamentary committee on this issue. There is no need to create a separate body for this, he said. This house is itself efficient to deal with such issues, he added. Hardwar Dubey of the BJP raised the issue of pollution in rivers such as Yamuna and Hindon flowing into the NCR region. While talking about the recently concluded Glasgow Climate Change Conference, Dubey said India has tried to give a new direction by aiming to reduce pollution by reducing its dependency on fossil fuels. India aims to increase non-fossil fuel-based electricity from 155 gigawatt at present to 500 gigawatt by 2030. Earlier during 0 hour, Sanjay Singh of the Aam Aadmi Party demanded a fast-track court and the strictest action within 6 months against those involved in the alleged sexual abuse of 17 girls in Muzaffarnagar, Uttar Pradesh. Expressing shock over the incident, Singh demanded stringent punishment against the culprits to set an example and said exemplary punishment should be given within 6 months. The issue of the sharing of manufacturing sector in the GDP was also discussed in the House. Congress MP Kumar Ketkar pointed out that the BJP manifesto had talked about raising the share of the manufacturing sector to 25% of the GDP. But according to the latest data, the contribution of manufacturing sector in the country's GDP was only 13%. In a 0 hour mention, P. Wilson of the DMK said he raised the issue of rising cotton prices and yarn prices which have affected the textile industry in the country, including Tamil Nadu. He said rising prices of cotton and yarn and hoarding of the same had led to closure of several textile mills across various regions of Tamil Nadu state. Manufacturers are faced with the challenge of abnormal price rise of cotton and yarn due to various reasons, and no steps have been taken to prevent large-scale hoarding of yarn and cotton by certain persons, he said. But that's a wrap on Parliament News. Thanks for watching.
The media, commentators, defense analysts have started discussing and writing about the legacy that